You are about to listen to Getting Home Sourced with Gianno Buonagoro. This is episode 106, titled The Latest Trends, released on August 21st, 2026.
Welcome to Getting Home Sourced with G, your one-stop shop for all things real estate. Gianno is your go-to guy with over 25 years of experience in the game, serving up the insider scoop on buying, selling, and investing in two of the hottest markets, Las Vegas, Nevada, and Cabo, Mexico. Whether you're looking to score the perfect home, seal the deal on a sale, or dive into the world of international investments, G's got the tips, tricks, and swagger to make it happen. Remember, in Nevada, the smart choice is the right choice. And when it comes to Cabo, you better go oceanside with Cabo G. If you were looking for a quiet, tranquil show about real estate, this ain't it. Gianno has this thing called passion. Let's unleash the beast. This is Welcome to Getting Home Sourced. And now your host, Gianno.
Hey, what do you say? What do you say? Hey, folks, you got the rockin' show as always here at Getting Home Sourced, as I'm your host, Gianno. Of course, what do I always do, folks? We always start out by saying good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're listening around the world. Thank you so much for tuning in. And of course, I give love to my newbies, my first-timers. Thank you so much if this is your first time or second time. Thank you so much for finding us here. You're part of the family now, so welcome aboard. And I really hope you share, like, subscribe to the show, and tell your other friends that you're listening to the show, you love it, and you have to have them listen as well. And of course, who gets the big love? The engine that drives the Ferrari. You know who you are. All my loyal listeners, thank you so much for making the show great, what it is, and more importantly, supporting the show to get us over that 1 million threshold of listeners. Folks, we're just going to keep on growing. We block out the noise, we block out the distractions and what have you. We just move forward. That's what we do. Keep making the show better and greater as we go along each and every week. So the title of this show is called The Latest Trends, because I want to talk about what's happening in the real estate market, what's happening maybe in your market. So it's going to be a very, very hot topic to talk about, and I want to get your feedback on this after the show. Tell me what you think, because I think it's important what we're going to be covering. But again, for those that don't know or may not know, or you do know and you didn't look yet, I just put in my website, VegasHomeSource.com. Go to the Mexico tab, and you're going to see the 2026 mid-report for Cabo Buyer's Guide Market, as well as my 2026 Buyer's Guide. So it gives you all the information on what to expect when you're purchasing a property in Mexico, and also showing everybody on the market report what's going on in the market going all the way up until July of 2026 this year. So very, very important and pertinent stuff. So really, please, folks, check that out. It's free for you. And of course, while you're on there, you have free MLS. So I really give all the tools out to everybody. I try to have people steer away from the other platforms. I think it's really just, it's money grab. It's getting your information. It's selling it and what have you. Folks, here, we're family. We're close-knit. I have free MLS for Las Vegas, for the United States and Nevada. I also have Los Cabos, Mexico. Go on there, check it out. It's like you're the realtor, you're putting in a search, and anything that's out there active right now, you're going to see. You can also check closings. You can also check pending status. It's all there for you. Please take advantage of it, folks, because, again, I do this for you because I don't want you to be hassled and bothered by realtors calling you up the minute that you put your information in on some other portal I want to mention names, but you already heard me talk about it before. And you know what's going to happen. You're going to have 10, 20 realtors blowing up your phone, asking you what you're doing, how can I help you, and whatever. That's not what we do here. On this show, we give you the free tools, the privacy and the confines of wherever you are. And when you're ready to purchase or invest, I would really like to hope that I have that opportunity to help you with that acquisition, whether it be Los Cabos, whether it be Las Vegas, or if you have other questions in other cities and areas around the world, please let me know because we have that network available for you. But again, as I always like to say, what do we have also? Our concierge partnership program for Las Vegas, where we're bringing buyers and sellers together, the consumers, right? We're also bringing realtors that are struggling, trying to sell their listings and try to get more exposure. So we help them with that. And we also help the new construction home builders because they're hurting a little bit. They need some help and we get them on the right track. So we're trying to bring everybody together, bring the community together. It's very important here in Las Vegas. Now, also for Cabo, I have the Cadoon Hotel, basically 5 minutes away walking from Medino Beach. It is absolutely spectacular. You have to check it out. Great room rates, great clean rooms. The hotel now is a couple months old. Phenomenal. And also we have Medino Massage. So when you're on the beach and you want to have activities and you just want to get loosened up before you start to do jet skiing or swimming or whatever, fishing, you got to get there. Give me a call. We'll get you squared away over there. Finally, what I always been preaching for the rest of the year here, I can't emphasize it enough, my concierge tax benefits partnership program. Why, folks? Because it's about asset protection. That's what real estate is. And we also help and give back to people, international friends, domestic friends, trying to get that corporate entity set up, that family trust set up, protecting what? Assets, whether it's domestic investments, whatever you're talking about, whatever you're doing, please reach out to me. We can help you get situated because that's the goal here, to protect people when they're purchasing, or if you already have a purchase and you haven't thought about it, it's still in your name. You kind of really want to get that out of your name and have asset protection. Live the Corporate Life is my partnership program that I work with to help all my clients, customers, friends, whoever you are out there. If we haven't worked together yet, what have you, have questions about that, please email me, text me, call me. We will get you set up. And speaking of which, how do you get a hold of me, right? You have my email, Gianno@VegasHomeSource.com, or for my international friends, my toll-free number, 888-528-2810. And my domestic friends, just put in the 702, same number, right? So that's what we got going on over there. So a lot of good stuff that's happening right now. And I really want to focus on this week's show because the latest trends focuses on two things. What real estate agents are doing pretty much throughout the country, but also what's happening here in the Las Vegas market, because I got to give a little love to Las Vegas. Again, I know everybody, we're focused on Cabo, which is great. I love that. But I do want to compare the two because just recently, folks, the peso now, or I should say the dollar, dropped below 17, that 17-to-1 ratio. Now it's like 16.9% on the peso. When I was in Mexico not too long ago, it was a point higher. So you have to keep watching, seeing what's going on in the U.S. dollar, how that's affecting the Mexican peso, and also how that affects who? All the other foreign travelers that are coming into Mexico. You have to see what the dollar structure is for you over there for currency, because there's a good swing that's taking place that we have to keep an eye on that, right? But however, the main thing that I want to really commit myself to here is because the last couple of days I had got some education classes. I went to what we call our Trends Committee meeting and our Global Committee meeting, right? And during both classes, we focused on AI. A lot of hot topic information, hot button information on that. But I want to start off by saying that in the real estate industry, as a realtor, right, broker, agent, however you identify yourself as, because obviously there's different names in different countries and cities that we work in, okay? So we have different classifications around the world, and it's important to kind of make sense of it all. But the industry itself is a zero-sum game, which means if I don't make a deal, there's no reward, right? No deals, no reward. So people, the consumer per se, I like to have you kind of understand that, because everybody thinks that, realtors are multi-gazillionaires and what have you. Folks, we work very hard for what we do. I know a lot of people as realtor professionals are struggling right now. So again, why I'm going to be talking about AI and what's happening and how that's being incorporated into the real estate industry. Okay. But like I said, no rewards if you're not closing deals. I know a lot of things are going on right now in the U.S. There's a little bit of a pullback. We talked about this the last couple of weeks. When we have midterm elections taking place over here, what happens? That means that people kind of sit on the sidelines. They wait with their money before they get into the market, and meaning the housing market, and start doing an investment acquisition, right? But we do know that the stock market, whether it's NASDAQ or the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, is really at record highs. So what are people doing? Making their money in the stock market, pulling that out. And now what are they doing? They're hedging and basically protecting themselves on the back end and holding real estate as their portfolio. So it's kind of really important to understand what's happening in the housing market, as well as also what's happening in the stock market. But what does that mean, right? So here's the thing. You have to be aware. You have to be knowledgeable. You have to have a pulse on what's going on in the economy, because in this industry, again, a lot of people are getting like a sleepy wheel per se. They're sleeping behind the wheel. They're not really, it's lazy. I get it. We're going into the fall now. Kids are back in school, or going to be back in school soon. So some of us are out there just kind of like just going through the motions. I get it, because we're in a brain fog. But now, the fog has to lift. We have to get focused, because we have to have a strong third and fourth quarter, not only here in the U.S., but also wherever you are all over the world. Take a look at the economic conditions. We covered that in the last couple of weeks. And you have to see what's going on. What's closing? How is it closing? What's the economic environment and condition? Because again, you have to stay connected. You have to show up, and more important, you have to give back. I like to think that on this show, we cover those things. And with my clients that I have met on the show here, and my regular clients that I work with, and investors and what have you, I think that they know that I'm always showing up, right? It's not just physically showing up, but you have to show up. You have to, look, real estate professional, whether you're having a good day or bad day, it's a great day. You always have to put on that happy face, because we are working for you, the consumer. And some people may try to fake it, but you know what? I don't know if that's going to be going over very well. You have to come up and be prepared, because if I'm not prepared, how are you going to be successful if I'm not prepared, because you're relying on me? This is what happens. We need that human touch, that human connection. But again, I see right now a little sleepiness going on. That's affecting the consumer. And it also gives us good realtors, great realtors, and realtors that are really working hard and doing the work a bad name, because what happens when you throw, a couple bad apples into the bunch, everybody thinks it's all bad apples. And that's really not where it's at. And I know it's a negative connotation, but again, please, you have to understand, especially for those realtors that are listening to the show out here, you have to bring your A game. There's a lot of things that are moving in the market right now, in the markets that you're in, and you have to You got to show up, be prepared, and you have to create value for your client. And how do you gain value for your client? What's important? Well, I personally think that for the consumer and people like myself, that, if you're working with me, you have to gain allies that want to work with the consumer through me, because I am the go-to. I am the hub. I'm the source of the source, right? So if that's true value in any deal, what are we talking about? We're talking about relationships. We talked about this, for the last 3 months, I believe. We've always stated it's all a relationship game, okay? It's not just showing up, having a pretty face, and what have you, cracking some jokes. Oh, I like this guy, he's funny. Or I like this girl, she's cute. It's not about that. It's about, you really have to be prepared. Everybody's nice, and we always treat people with respect, right? But you still have to have the know-how. You have to have the pulse on the market. Again, this is what's happening. And this is why I'm going to be talking about in the show what's going on here, because it's the AI game. And that's the little secret right now for my buyers and sellers and investors out there, okay? This is another Home Source reveal. A lot of agents right now are using Claude AI as a tool to help negotiating listings and contracts. Now, when I heard this at the educational meeting here, I was taking a step back. I was like, wow, wait a second. I am not considered tech smart by any means. I'll be the first to admit that. I like to do things old school. We talked about how my performances with people, we discussed that on past shows. Whatever you see when I'm talking about, like I said, this show, for instance, this is not ChatGPT, this is not Claude, this is not whatever. This is me sitting here in my studio, giving you the information that I absorbed through classes, my personal experiences, and what are we doing? I always say this before. It's actual, factual, practical. We're giving you the information. What I've been getting passed down to me, I have to pass down to you as my listener base and also as my consumers, because you need to know. You need to know what's going on in the industry. I'm not ratting anybody out, okay? This is not a rat show. I'm basically saying that right now with AI, everybody, we talked about AI before in the past as well, but when I'm sitting back and if I'm negotiating, if I'm representing you, let's say I'm the listing agent and I'm representing the seller, and now I have a buyer's agent come in. The buyer wants to make an offer to me, and the agent is submitting the offer. Are you really doing the offer, or are you having ChatGPT write up the offer for you? Because when I'm being told and hearing that, especially in Las Vegas, that realtors are actually using AI to write offers for them and help negotiate with their contracts and their negotiation skills, that's where I was like, wow, this is where I have to kind of jump in the mix here and really kind of take to heart what the heck is going on. Because if you have AI taking over for you, that's not really a good situation, okay? And my position on this one is that I don't use AI, except in certain situations, but never, ever, ever would I represent a buyer or a seller and use AI, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever, to go and negotiate, especially with my skill set, to go and use a artificial intelligence device to basically represent me while I'm representing you, my client. Absolutely no way. That is not going to happen. That would never happen in any of my deals. And I've been doing this now, folks, 28 years. And I can tell you right now, if I see AI coming in, and you could tell by the way contracts are being written or how people are sending emails and what have you, this is why it bothers me when I see real estate. I'm not saying it's a shortcut per se. I know that we all want assistance in what we're doing to, let's say, we're giving better service, okay? Again, there's a difference between giving better service and then having value and creating value. So what's the difference between value and creating great service? Well, I don't know if AI is creating great service per se, but if a lot of agents are using it here in my neck of the woods in Las Vegas, what's to say that in whatever country, city, state, what town that you're living in, are you getting this type of service or are you getting this type of value? Okay, because to me, obviously I say I'm the home source of the source, right? We're home source, we're getting home sourced. This comes with what? It comes with the relationships that I've created, not only with all of you, but also with my sphere of influence, my business partners that I've been working with over the years. And this takes time, folks. It just doesn't happen overnight. You have to cultivate everything. We all know this. This is not brain surgery and it's not rocket science, right? We're not reinventing the wheel over here. But I'm just saying that for people that are having a strong AI base, that seems to be today's agent per se. Because if everybody's, tech this, tech that, AI this, AI that, I get it, because it's in every single field. We understand that, and people are either negative towards AI and positive towards AI, but at what point? And this is what concerns me, because if agents are creating value based upon presentations to you, the consumer, well, where are they getting their information from? Are you kind of like now basically deciphering what a computer is saying and what kind of information that's spitting out. Did you even validate that before you're going back and telling your clients and what have you, your customers, friends, family, whatever, just to go throw a blurb out there so you can have your 10 minutes of fame per se? This is what's a concern. This is why it's another reveal, right? I mean, it's another reveal when I have to tell you, the consumer, you have to start vetting realtors that you're working with and asking them, well, if you're representing me, what kind of AI are you using and how is that incorporated into our business relationship to get me what I want, whether I'm looking to sell my property or I want to buy a property. So this is where the power of referrals to leverage and protect you, this is what it's all about. And this is why, like a person like me, working for you, client, customer, friend, sphere, what have you, this is very, very, very important. So on that note, let's trend, per se, towards a commercial break. And when we get back, I have numbers that I want to share with you for Vegas and what's going on. So stay tuned. I'll be right back.
When it comes to luxury living, every detail matters. From private viewings to personalized experiences, Vegas Home Source doesn't just sell homes, they curate lifestyles. Whether you're buying your dream penthouse or selling a signature property, Vegas Home Source delivers concierge-level service designed for your success. Luxury isn't just a price point, it's a personal experience. Let Vegas Home Source make yours unforgettable. Vegas Home Source, your luxury concierge realtor. Because you deserve more than just a transaction.
Hey, what do you say? Thank you so much for sticking on in the back half of Getting Home Sources. I'm your host, Gianno. And again, I just want to say, folks, thank you so much for tuning in and listening. But more importantly, liking, subscribing, sharing the show to get us over the hump of our 2-year anniversary. And what a better time to hit over 1 million listeners with all of you. La Familia, we're family, we're bringing it in, we're hugging each other, high-fiving, and now we're moving on with an upward because I want us to hit now 2 million. That's our goal because I want to be, I'm not going to say a disruptor, but you know what? Look, we don't sugarcoat it, we just tell it like it is over here. And when I find out things, you're going to know about it because why? Because you have to know that this is what it is. We're not going to hide anything here. I don't think I've ever hidden anything here. We're not going to. We're not going to start now, right? So, but this is why we're talking about trends, data. A is a trend. This is what is trending now throughout the world in real estate. And now I have a feeling it's consuming and getting into the relationship between the realtor and the client, albeit the investor, buyer, or seller. This is a red flag. This is why I want all of you, whatever realtor that you're working with, start asking questions, okay? Start vetting them out and just try to find out and who's really representing you and how are they representing you, okay? Because right now, the whole thing right here to me, folks, is that when you go and get represented by an attorney, are they going to use ChatGPT to write your case and briefcase? I don't think so. Okay, if they're doing that and attorneys are getting into that, major problem, okay? This is all about back to the basics. It's all about old school, okay? Because I look at it this way. Again, look at it as like telling everybody about our show, okay? You could be at Hot Pilates, you could be at the gym, you could be wherever you're in the car, whatever. You're telling people because you enjoy the show, you like the show, but what is it? Because you're getting the information, you're getting it straight on, head on, no nonsense. This is what it is, okay? We're not going to sugarcoat stuff because if I'm telling you what's coming down the pipeline, folks, it's for your own benefit. It's your own good. It's the consumer. It's really protecting you, the consumer. And if I see some bad apples, I'm going to call them out. I'm going to grab them. I'm going to throw it in the bin and throw it out and trash them because this is not the way to do proper business, okay? So just please be mindful. It's really something I'm very passionate about right now, especially this week when I heard I just walked out of these classes and my head was spinning. I just have to be honest. But as of this show, again, getting into numbers, the housing inventory in Las Vegas is down year over year by 1.5%. Might not seem like a lot, it's minimal, but still trends, okay? Because we have to see what's going to happen now going into the next year, right? 2027. However, the sales year over year were up by the same time frame. So overall, the last 4 years, Vegas, quite honestly, folks, is a flat market, okay? So it might be up 1 year, down another, up again, down like a slinky, back and forth, back and forth. The problem here is that there's a lot of indicators between 2022 and 2026. Again, not a political show, tariffs, okay, a lot of Canadians. I know my Canadian friends. I love you guys. I know you're kind of like steering away from the U.S. I know Vegas is a hot market for you guys to come and visit. Now we're kind of flying over. Hey, but you know what? In a good way, too. You're going down to Cabo, so I'm down there, too, and I'm working with you. So it's beneficial, I guess, on a personal level. But really, overall, it's a concern, okay? Because at the end of the day, Canadians were driving the business. They were driving into Las Vegas. They were really spending money and boosting the economy and building it up and also investing, too. Not so much, okay, in the last year and a half. And I get it and I understand it. But because of this, now with listings going up in the market, again, low inventory, and we're about under the 8,000 range of the show right now, 40% of the listings on the Las Vegas MLS market are what we consider aspirational, aka affordable, right? So that means 60% of the inventory is not. What are we thinking here, sellers? What's going on? And more importantly, listing agents, what's going on? Are you just trying to just throw a sign on the ground and just be like, yes, do whatever you want, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. I got you covered. I'll do whatever you say. That's not the way to go about it. Okay, folks, like I said, I've walked out of listings. I've had sellers say, you know what, we don't want to work with you. But at least I'm being honest and I'm telling, I will not do something that I feel is going to damage my reputation. Why would I take your listing, waste time and money and energy and advertising and go throw it out, which is overpriced? Now you're going to get mad at me. You're not getting any offers. You're going to want to, what you think is a lowball offer, which in all actuality is the actual correct offer. But because we artificially inflated the price, because that's what you wanted to do, makes me look bad. And then what happens? Then you have what's called days on the market. And then it sits there. It looks like it's a dog property. And now I'm the bad guy because I was trying to help you. Look, I've done that before. I've gotten bitten by that because I went along with the program thinking, okay, we'll try it your way, see what happens. And then what happened? I'm the bad guy because I shouldn't have done that. And I should have basically stood up in my position and told them, no, this is not what you're going to do. And I don't feel comfortable doing this. It's either you got to do it this way, what the market bears, or I'm out. And I didn't do that. And I got busted on that one and I had to take it. But it was a learning lesson. This was a while ago. And I just figured, you know what? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's just get it going. Hey, we'll see what happens because they were very animated about it. And I let that situation overtake what my rationale and what my business acumen should have been. And that's what I'm trying to say, folks. So this is what's happening right now. 60% of the property sitting and 60% obviously are overpriced and not attainable. Okay, not good. Now, here's another stat. 63% of the sales are concessions made by the seller, okay? And especially in new construction homes or new home construction, 85% of the sales are what? Builder concessions. Folks, I said this before. They're taking 25% off the base, okay? And they give you incentives on the back end, and they give you closing costs, and they're giving you the low mortgage rate of 3%, 4%, 5% escalation, and it flattens out, right? This is what's happening with no home builds in Nevada, in Las Vegas. I had spoken about this before, where builders are basically giving the farm away. It's not going to be like that forever, folks, because now we also are told that the interest rate is going to go up 0.5%. I'm waiting to see when that makes it official. Should be sometime this week or next week. Got to watch that as well, because why? When they're raising the rates up, what happens with prices? Try to keep them suppressed. We don't want them to skyrocket because, again, some markets are going to be out of control anyway, East Coast primarily. But the Southwest, the Sun Belt area states and what have you, these are the ones that you have to watch for, especially like Las Vegas and Phoenix and what have you, because those two cities specifically have sitting inventory and what's happening. And sellers are just trying to get as much as they can. I get it. But Again, listing agents, you have to have a backbone. Don't let ChatGPT basically try to defend your position. You have to know the market. You have to know the pulse, and you have to go in there armed, prepared, and ready to either get turned down, have the sellers listen to you, just like an attorney. Is this attorney going to say, okay, client, whatever you want to do, you go ahead, I'll just listen to you. You're going to pay me anyway. So it doesn't matter now in this case whether you win or lose, right? That's not what we're trying to talk about over here, folks. You have to, consumers, seriously, you have to listen to what your real estate professional is saying to you. I know you might have a situation, work through it. Let's not talk over one another or have somebody's, opinion outweigh and overpower the realtor per se. They're only doing their job. They're telling you the facts and what's going on. Me personally, folks, if you're out there and you have appraisers that can appraise property, again, we talked about this before, it just makes it so much easier. Go and get your home appraised before you take your listing. Find out what your home is worth. Get that appraiser to come in. Now you have something to leverage and bargain with, right? Because now as a realtor, if I come in and you tell me, hey, I just got an appraisal a couple days ago, fresh right off the presses, here's what the number is, fantastic, because now we have another professional, third party, right, that now gave you a number that we can start a foundation on and then work upwards or downwards because we've done the homework. And guess what, folks? It's a write-off wherever you are. Anytime you get an appraisal on your property is a deductible, it's a tax deduction. So take advantage of that. It's not going to cost more than $1,000 no matter where you are. Seriously, it is well worth it. And it just makes the transaction from the beginning as a listing agent so much easier because now I can leverage and protect the seller as a listing agent because I have a document in my hand to show when I put that on a listing, MLS, as we use over here, multiple listing service. Now I can show the value and reason why we're listing it because this is what the appraisal is worth. This is the value of the property, okay? Now, here's the funny thing. 26% of listings sit on the market in Las Vegas, folks, 90 days or more, okay? That is also not good. And 6% sit on there over 4 months or 120 days. Not good. This is now what's happening here in the United States because we go based upon square footage, okay? So when we do our calculations, we do what's called price per square foot. So you take the price of the property or what the value is, what you're listing it for, and then you divide it by the number of square feet in the house, whether it's 3,000 square feet, 5,000, whatever the number is, then you get your value of the price per square foot. So people like to see a low number. Realistically, you want to be under 300 price per square foot. You want to be really in that 200 to 300 range, depending upon area, right? Size of the home, the lot, how big the lot is, and what have you. So that there's a lot of equations that go into that. But here's what's happening right now, again, in Las Vegas. It could be happening elsewhere around the country here in the United States. But now you have competition, new homes versus resale homes. So what's happening right now, you have sellers who are out there just basically selling their homes, but you not only have to compete, but you have to contend with what the new home builders are giving out there. What are they giving out there? They're giving the farm away, okay? It's 25% off the base price. It's maybe furniture, it's fixtures, it's closing costs, it's loan, it's whatever it is. They are doing everything to sell what they call units. They want to sell their unit because they have what? Publicly traded companies. They got to make the shareholders, stockholders happy. So they have to move things off the books, okay? Because there's a lot of land around certain cities and also states, counties, whatever you want to call it. And once they close out that subdivision, they're already starting their new one and what have you. In the old days, it was so hot, they were just doing a waiting list. I don't even see anybody doing a waiting list, maybe in the East Coast, but certainly not in Vegas and certainly not in Phoenix that I know of, where for new homes, you have to go on a waiting list to get in. We're not in that hot market, so to speak, anymore. Because like I said before, folks, in a luxury builder, I see getting emails from luxury builders here locally that are actually saying, hey, we're going to do open house. Come on in, bring your clients in here, go through. We'll give you a brochure and a pamphlet. Get the word out. Never seen that happen over here in all the years that I've done that. Maybe during the crash of 6, 7, and 8, maybe after COVID, but nothing to the point of where they're basically begging realtors to come on in, when really with new home builders, when the market's hot, they don't pay us. Then we go after the buyer to say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, do you think you can kind of, pay my groceries and pay my bills? I need you. I'm walking you in the property over here. They don't want to pay me. Do you want to pay me? That was embarrassing. And I basically ripped the home builders on that. And I had no problem saying it then and saying it now. Not good professional conduct. When realtors are there to support you through thick or thin, you have to stick with them as well. It's a two-way street. You just can't cut them out. And some builders did, and they paid the price, and they learned it, and now they come back. And you know what, folks? When it's a seller's market again, or when the new home builders think that it's a hot market for them, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to cut us out or try to cut us out. It's a cyclical, evil cycle. I don't like it. I've expressed my opinions with them. So we'll see what happens in the years moving forward. But this is what they do in real estate, folks. As you as a consumer, if you walk into a new home sales track and you don't have your realtor with you that particular day, that realtor doesn't get paid. And now they ask you, did you walk in with the realtor? Oh, no, I have a realtor, but I didn't bring him today. We were just browsing. We're going to bring him tomorrow. Well, the sales track person's not going to say anything to you, but when I bring you back the next day and try to fill out a registration card, they already tricked you into signing their registration card, and now you're on your own, you're exposed, I can't represent you anymore. So again, with that being said, and it's not happening here in Vegas, folks, it's all over. You have to make sure that if you're going to go out on your own and look at new home sales, at least don't give your name, don't give your information, don't sign their registration card. Even if they force you to do it, then just turn around and walk out, because you're not going to want to give them your information. You're not going to be represented, and now you're going to be on your own. And the new home build sales track agent is certainly not going to represent you. They are representing a home builder, and you're going to miss out on all those incentives that I just told you about. Why? Because you didn't have a professional standing there next to you. And don't think that you're going to go in there and think that you're going to save money without a real estate agent, because that's not the case. It's the opposite. You're actually going to save money with a real estate agent that has your best interest, because I can tell you right now, the new home builder just sells houses. They could care less. I've seen new home projects out here, folks, that's already happening. Major lawsuit where we have a home builder, I can't mention names because of legal purposes, but they have a big problem out here in Lake Las Vegas. The homes, they built it on foundation, and now those homes are landsliding. They're falling apart. They're on like a little mini hill. It was not compacted properly with the soil. Now it's expanding, and now the homes are apart. These people are actually can't even get any builder satisfaction. It's a complete mess. Lake Las Vegas, again, if you're going out there, and if you know about Lake Las Vegas, in Las Vegas area is about 45 minutes outside of the Strip. And it's a beautiful community. Golf courses over there. Here's the problem. A lot of soil, a lot of expansive soil over there. You got to be careful on what's going on. So again, these people went in there. They bought the properties. They thought everything was all hunky-dory. And now guess what? It's not hunky-dory. You have to make sure you have a realtor that's reviewing everything for you, because now that is a big mess. Again, something to just mention out there, because I'm sure in other areas where they have new homes, you're having problems. You might have walked in by yourself. You may have had a realtor with you, but did you actually read the contract to see what their out clauses are? I mean, I know it's like a thick book. It might be a 100-page contract. It doesn't matter. If you're spending a lot of money, let's say $300,000 or higher, please read the contracts. Know what you're getting into. Because after that, it's buyer beware. You're on your own. They're not going to save you. And this is what I'm talking about with new homes. A little bit of my pet peeve there. It's a little bit opinionated, but also it's the truth. It's factual. I'm sure people that are out here listening, you know what I'm talking about, right? So now, again, at the end of the day, so when you have that contention, okay, and you also have to compete, that's an instance where what happens? Pricing plus parity equals what? Winning based on incentives. So with strong conditions, presentations matter, as there's more options in today's market, folks. Again, so you have property and inventory that's out there. You have to know what you're doing out there. It's very, very important. So because what happens now? Sellers no longer have control of the transaction just because it's listed. I'm sorry, folks. In a negotiated market, the buyer dictates the terms. You're lucky to get it sold, and you're lucky to come to a middle, help out the buyer, especially now if interest rates go up, not right away, but if they do announce that 0.5% increase, let's say we're just at 6.25% and now it's going to go to 6.75%. That's a big difference, folks, especially on the pricing. What happens to all my resale sellers right now? Guess what's going to happen with that consumer, that buyer? They're going to go run to the new home builders. Why? Because they locked in their own mortgage rates. They're going to come in. They can't wait to see mortgage rates go up because they're going to drop theirs. They're going to be at 4, 5, 6%. And now you're going to have your market. It's just going to sit there. Folks, you got to be careful. You have to watch what's going on with the economic climate. Very, very important because, again, folks, if you're not paying attention to what's happening right now and what's moving forward, this is why you're listening to the show. I'm giving it to you, the cold hard facts. It's going to get a little ugly because it's going to start compressing and suppressing. That's the key. Compressing and suppressing the housing market for pricing and also for appraisals. That's going to have a little bit of a backlog, okay? So now, 63% of seller concessions in today's housing market. This is what you're seeing across the board, okay? So you have to be prepared. Sellers, you have to give that concession. It's just what it is. That's how you're going to get the deal done, especially in a market where you're going to be coming up now in the midterm elections here in 3 months. You have to be prepared for a little bit of a slowdown. Be aggressive. Get that property sold. Because guess what? You're going to make it up on the back end if you're going to buy something else, right? So this is usually how it works out. So don't think that you're going to get beat because right now what's happening? Wall Street precedes Main Street. And this is what's happening with the markets. We talked about it again just a little while ago. This is what drives people to take their cash out and investors and buyers to go buy property to offset their portfolio. You have to watch the stock market and see what's going on. Because as I tell people and my future people, clients, friends, sphere, whatever you want to identify yourselves as, it's everybody. I love you all. Okay. I tell people, seriously, real estate is my profession, but politics is my business. Why? Because housing in the United States is a bipartisan situation that people seem to agree to. No matter what their differences are on other issues, they don't differ or disagree about housing. They know it's an issue. They know they have to address it. And this is why, again, politics is not my game, but politics is my business because that's how I can help you as my client make the best decision on when to buy, how to buy, and why to buy, and vice versa to sell. Okay, so this is what you have to worry about. So that's why I consider my political party is what? I'm the Realtor Party. I'm here for you, independent. I'm watching everything else that's going on, and I want to make sure that in my Realtor Party, you're part of my party because you're my client, right? Or you're my friend, you're a consumer, you're listening, you're getting the information. Because again, now let's talk about rents, because now rents is another situation because of the economic climate. So now Vegas is down 9% month over month, not year over year, month over month, because why? Of the inventory, the competition, there's more investment properties on the market. Now that could be good for the consumer. So if you're looking to rent in Las Vegas, you're pretty much going to get a good deal because there's so much competition out there. I mean, unless it's like a prized property and as we call it as a gem, if it's a gem property, probably not going to really get too much of a good deal unless it's been sitting on the market for a while because the seller wants an absorbent amount of rent per month. But again, that's the other reveal because the state of Nevada, folks, I don't know if you know this or not, but another reveal here, the state of Nevada is the only state in the United States that has depreciation on property taxes as it goes down 0.05% every year. However, does not by any means, folks, affect the outcome of home sales. It just suppresses the raise of property taxes, making Nevada one of the cheapest taxes states, okay? Because we have no state tax, but property tax, we're the cheapest state in the country, okay? And this is key for people. I mean, again, folks, this is something that has to be told because with all this other economic climate stuff coming down, this is what's happening, okay? Now, here's my favorite part, folks, because solar panels. I mean, again, either you love solar panels or you hate solar panels, okay? Me, I'm not a big fan because a lot of solar panel companies have gone bankrupt, and what happens now, it becomes a very sticky situation, and most of the time, I'm not gonna say a lot, most of the times, the buyer that buys the property has a big mess on their hands because paperwork wasn't properly read, and also they wasn't really doing the due diligence, maybe on the realtor side, maybe on the buyer side, but specifically on the seller side for disclosure. We'll get into that in a second. But 15 to 20% of the homes listed here in the Las Vegas market have solar, okay? So they either bought it in full, which that would be phenomenal if they bought it in full, or they have what's called a PPA, power purchase agreement. So these PPAs have an average of a 25-year contract, and they usually come with 3.5 warranties that are attached to it through the panels, through the inverters, through the installers, and of course the company. But you always get solar inspections. Even if you're a seller, you still got to get solar inspections. Check your panels out prior to selling. Make sure you're good and see what your company's going to do. And also, you may want to call up the solar company and make sure that they're still in business, because if they go out, which some of them have, now we have a little bit of a sticky situation because those other companies are still in business, but the main company that you did the deal with, they're gone. Who replaces them? That's what you got to get that information on, because it's very, very, very important when you're buying a home with solar. And another fact that, again, people that have solar and you have a 25-year contract states that between 5 to 7 times that property is going to get sold over the course of that contract. 5 to 7 times is a lot, folks. I mean, usually it's about 3, but hey, everybody's moving around. I get it. I'm just throwing out the numbers for you. This is what's happening here in town. It's pretty impressive. I guess, what do you say about that? 5 to 7 times in a house that's got solar over a 25-year period. Okay, well, we'll see how that plays out moving forward. So this is what's trending, and this is basically the show, folks. So I really want to say thank you again for tuning in. I want to give you some perspective that was compared to the housing market, especially where you live in, folks. It's really, really important to stay on top of what's going on. So if you get my real estate newsletters, if you get my information that's out there on my website, what have you, it is not AI by any means, okay? This is something that I take the time, I write out, I spend my time with, just like I do on my show. But more importantly, don't delete the emails that you're getting through other people, whether it's your lender or just strangers that are sending you. It doesn't matter. Don't think of it as junk mail. Read it. See what they're saying. Compare it to the other stuff that you're getting. Don't just delete the button if you think it's in spam or trash. Chances are if it's in spam or trash, it's because they're not connected with you. So I get them all the time. I read them because I like to stay informed. That's what I'm asking all of you. Stay informed. Don't delete those emails. Read it. See what it's got to say. It takes you 5 minutes to go read somebody that took the time. Hopefully it's not AI, but they're giving us stats, the market trends. Okay, fine. This is what we're talking about. It's trends. This is why the show is so important, because I packed in a lot of stuff here on this show. So I want to leave you guys with this, because I know that the show gave you a lot of information, but for some positivity, because I'm a positive person, but it's just, actual, factual, practical. We're not bad-mouthing anybody. I'm just telling you what is going on and what to be aware of. But here's my quote that I'm going to leave you all with, which I really love. Okay, so I will leave you with this. When faith is bigger than your miracle, when your vision is bigger than your dreams, and when your praise is louder than your pain, absolutely nothing can stop you, okay? So use that intestinal fortitude, drive you to success in all that you do, because you know what, folks, we all matter in all shapes and sizes, okay? And we all make a difference for not only ourselves, but for others. And again, a lot of people, I know you may struggle with it. You may not see the results immediately, or you just may not see it at all. But again, and I can tell you from personal experience, everything reveals itself in time when you least expect it, okay? Just keep that with you. Keep that positivity. Keep that energy going like I always do. I want to rub it off on you. So that's what it is. I want you all to have a phenomenal, great week. God bless you all. Take care. And as always, hey, look, we're always going to do it, okay, folks? I'm going to be here for you. love you all. Thank you so much for supporting us. Please, please, please like, share, subscribe for me. That's my only big shout out that I will ask of everybody. Easy peasy. Other than that, you have everything there at your fingertips for you. And again, any questions that you may have, I have Miss G. She's always there for you, 24 hours. Ask her questions. If you can't get a hold of her, you get a hold of me. You can call me, email me, text me, whatever you want to do. We're here for you 24/7 because everybody means the world to me, and I really appreciate you. So on that note, take care. God bless, and we'll do it again next week.
Whatever do you mean?
Game over.
You have just listened to Getting Home Sourced with your radio host, Gianno Buonaguro. This podcast is a registered trademark and may not be reproduced without the express written consent of VegasHomeSource.com. For additional information about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, call or text Gianno toll-free at 888-528-2810 or visit his website at VegasHomeSource.com. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.